Good morning.
Good morning.
It's Krista.
And Kara.
And we are the twins from the Twins Healing Magic and Beyond. And welcome to another week of wild and wacky chit chats with the twins. So it's a really crazy, windy day here in Davidson, and it's bringing in all sorts of crazy emotions.
Blowing and change.
And the full moon, which we're in the full moon energy too. And so it's been a pretty wild couple of days here with all sorts of weird feelings and emotions that, again, how much of it does it belong to us? Because 99% of our thoughts, feelings, and emotions do not belong to us, and we just are really good at buying it as real and true. So it takes really getting an awareness of what you're choosing. And are you choosing your happiness, or are you choosing a life of just the same old thing and something's missing and I don't know what it is? And you know, like how much do we people please, you know, just so that we can make everyone else happy except ourselves? And so I just wanted to read this from one of my new favorite books here, Blessed Possibilities by Gary Douglas. It's an Access Consciousness book.
I like that your pick.
My pick is holding it in place. And how's everyone doing today? Welcome.
Hope you guys enjoyed the full moon energies last night.
Yeah,
That's good.
It's been wild. Okay. We humans are really funny, actually, in how we choose to live our lives. Sometimes I wish I was more like an animal, where I just did what I wanted to do and didn't care about what
could be.
And you could. This is where it comes. Are you choosing your happiness? So we like to come to conclusions and answers. Hey, Kate.
Hi, Marilyn.
Hi, Marilyn. We like to come to conclusions and answers. We really do. We like to know that we are going to get it right. Anyone else agree?
I have been trying to get it right for weeks, I tell you.
Right?
I wanna kick my own ass.
We like to know that something is going to work the way we want it to work, hence getting it right. And we have a tendency to decide what is going to be instead of being the question. What is the possibility here? How many are guilty? Show of hearts or likes if you are in agreement. But
Good morning, Laverne.
this is the way that most of us are screwing up our lives. Honestly, it sounds harsh, but really, think about it. We're looking for a conclusion rather than asking a question that would create a possibility that we have never chosen or considered. The blessing of possibilities is the possibility of something you have never even considered. Like, we just gotta get the hell out of our own way. Like, honest to goodness, like, just, you know, we talk about this energy that we want, this way we want our life to be, and we don't know what that looks like. So why do we think we can get it right? Why do we think we can know what that looks like in our mind?
Because if we knew, we would have done it already.
Exactly. So have you lived your life by your reality or somebody else's? When you live your life by somebody else's reality, nothing that does not match their reality can even come into your awareness. So you don't have total choice. You got to get to the place where you are willing to have total choice and total possibility with no point of view of how it shows up or what it looks like when it shows up, and you have to be willing not to be right ever again. And that look, it can feel like a very daunting thing, and that for me is something that I am really like trying to wrap my head around, is that letting go of that needing to be right. Because,
and perfectionism,
right?
Yeah,
because we've lived that way our whole lives.
Yeah.
And you know, and we've really been like, you know, want people to like us. We want to fit in. We want, we don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. And so we're scared. We think we know that, like, to me, it's like, I think I have this vision in my head that if I'm going to do what I want to do, that means that I have to, like, have people not like me. Well, we don't know that, like, we don't know what's going to happen. We got to get out of our head. We got to get out of our own way.
And quit having future conversations in our head.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Good morning, Chantel.
Good morning. So, some questions. What possibility could I choose here that would create something greater than I have ever been able to create before? And again, it's that whole not trying to see what that looks like, but perceive it. And actually, here, he says it right here. It is not seeing the possibility. Like, we don't know what that's going to look like. We can't get it right because we don't know what that's going to look like. It is choosing for the possibility, even though you have no idea what it looks like. It's that whole trust thing, too.
And co-creating with the universe.
Yes. Like, so the possibilities are based on the energy you can perceive, not the vision you can receive. When you look for what the possibility is going to be, you are looking for the potential of it, not the possibility of it. You keep trying to see the vision. You keep trying to see what the vision is going to look like. You have spent your entire life trying to strain your vision into something that would create. It's like we try so hard in our head to see what that's going to look like, but the possibility is not straining the vision. It's an awareness throughout your entire body. So it's like,
and so asking the universe to show you the energy of what you want your life to be. Not exactly like, I want this, on this date at this time and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But we do that.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it's like getting that energy and then acknowledging when that energy shows up in our lives and being like that's our part then, is to be aware of that energy showing up. And that's what co-creating with the universe is. It's like, oh, okay, this is showing up, but I don't know what it's going to look like. What if I get it wrong?
And I've been hearing this co-create with the universe for like years now, and I've never really understood or totally got it because I'm always trying to get it right. And it's like, no, like, say yes to the things that come your way instead of being like, no, that's not what it's supposed to look like. No, that's not what it's supposed to look like.
And it's like, because we don't know. Like,
it's like, that is your part. Just say yes to the things that come your way.
And it's actually really such a freedom, right? Like, it's like, it isn't our job to figure out how. Like, you're off the hook, right?
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to know. We don't know how that's going to look. So all we have to do is like just look at what's in front of us and then choose it if it's aligning with this energy that we're perceiving that we want our lives to be. And so Kara and I actually have a 30-day challenge coming up. April 20th?
20th will be a Monday, less than 2 weeks.
So we're going to be doing a 30-day challenge because the first thing, before you can even start to pull in the energy of what you want your life to be, you got to figure out what's blocking you, what's stopping you from having the life you want. And hey, Erin, good morning. So in order to even be able to start drawing in what you want your life to be, you have to start to get rid of all the stuff that has been keeping you stuck in the current reality you are. And these are called our points of views and our beliefs and all these things that put walls up around us. And I've never really fully understood that. But the more and more I really think about it, it is like we have all the answers right in front of us all the time. And the universe is always trying to contribute to us and always trying to help us. But it's like we can't see that
because we're saying no to it.
Because we're saying no because we're trying to get it right. You know, like it's like, well, no, but that's not right. That's not the way.
Yeah, that's not the way I see it in my head, right?
We don't know what that's gonna look like. So it's like, oh, it's like really just trying to get out of your head and practice getting out of your head. And so
that's why I love these. Like, the first time we heard about this was last January. And we were drinking lots and actually smoking a lot of cigarettes at the time. And the last time I'd quit smoking, I used the tools of Access Consciousness. Well, again, last January, this clearing statement came through, and it's, what would it take for me to be willing to live the energy of what I'd like my life to be so that it can show up for me in totality. And it sounded so ridiculous. Like, it was like, seriously, I'm supposed to ask this 30 times a day for 30 days. But what it does is it gets you out of your monkey mind, and it it starts like almost like sloughing off all of your thoughts that are playing on a repetitive loop, right?
And then that clearing statement that goes at the end of it, and everything that is times a gazillion, right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. It's like these sayings that we're saying 30 times a day for 30 days. It brings up, like you said, all this rubbish, all this garbage, all this stuff that is like cluttering our mind and our vision. And it's like taking a magic wand at the end of it and being like, poof, be gone. And then it's like, then you can expand beyond that, and you can see more beyond that. And you're like, and it's like, it was always there right in front of your eyes all along. Like, and like this morning, I was just like, I know I'm like, have these like blinders on right now, and I'm feeling like this, almost like a paranoia, like there's something holding me back of being who I truly be, of speaking my mind, and just like not worrying what other people are going to think about me. And I'm like, I'm very aware that there is something right in front of me that is clouding my vision, and that all the answers and the freedom and the possibilities are right there. And I became aware that what's not letting me have that is me. Only me choosing that subconsciously, but now I'm becoming aware of it. So now it's like, now that I'm aware of it, it's like I'm calling myself on my bullshit that I've been telling myself. And it's like, all right, so is this fun? No, it doesn't feel fun. I'm driving myself crazy. And like this full moon has brought up all sorts of shit that I'm like, okay, so I don't really enjoy how I'm feeling. And I know this paranoia is being created by me. Like, what are you going to do? Ask a question. That's all you got to do is start asking questions. It's like anytime we come to conclusions, it's not a question. And those conclusions are the walls, you know, like they are the walls that are going around us, because we're like, no, I have to be right.
Yeah.
I like that. If I'm not right, then I don't want to do it.
I can't be wrong.
I can't be wrong. Right. And it's like, wow, it's mind blowing, really.
I can't stress enough how amazing it is to like. And like, I also enjoy it because it is so insane. Like, seriously, I'm in the shower in the morning and 30 times in a row asking the same question over and over and over again. And it's like, this is weird. I get that. But I also get that I'm not thinking about all the worry thoughts, all the other things. Like, it's just like, and you can almost like feel it like blasting stuff out of your energy field. Exactly. And then you always feel good after, like.
And we've seen the changes that it makes. Like, one 30-day challenge, it does change things. And does it make everything all of a sudden magically better? No, it doesn't.
Like, there's lots of days when we started doing it, and I would say that ask the question 30 times and not really get a whole lot out of it. And then as the time goes on, and then all of a sudden I would get excited one moment, and then all of a sudden I would just start crying in the next moment, and I'm like, yeah, I want this. Like, I don't know what this means, but
Exactly.
something is going on here.
And that's the whole trusting.
Yeah.
Like, trusting that the universe has your back and that you do have a responsibility to co-create with the universe.
Yeah.
So that is, like, it's not just like you just do this and magically everything appears and you don't have to do any work. It's not like that. It's like having stuff show up for you.
And it's baby steps.
And
It's not like you
baby
just take a
steps.
magical pill and your whole life changes.
Exactly. So that being like eager and hoping that everything will magically change. Well, you don't know what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
And it is so subtle, but it's not. Like, it's subtle, but then down the road, it's actually huger than you think.
Yeah, when you look back, you're like, holy crap, have I ever come a long way? Like, way more than I ever gave myself credit for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, like, if you're watching and you're like, this just all sounds so ridiculous, like, trust
We get it.
us. We started there too, or we're just like, I don't even, like, that's stupid. Why would we say something 30 times a day for 30 days? But we were just at the point where we're like, well, what have we got to lose, right? Like,
well, and I, like, my body was reacting to smoking cigarettes, like, big time. It was, like, coughing and, like, just, like, you could feel all the pressure in your chest. And trust me, I love smoking. Like, I totally love it, but my body does not love it. So it's just, like, something's got to change here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And strangely enough, asking a question does just that.
well, and because when you think about it, it's like, we don't, this is why I just think humans are so weird. We don't think it's weird to cut ourselves down all day and to mentally, like, just beat ourselves up. We don't think that's wrong, but we're not willing to do the things that are actually so simple. We're always like, I know what I could do. I know what I could do, but we don't choose it because we think it's too easy.
Yeah.
You know,
oh,
like-
that's just stupid. That sounds way too easy.
Yeah.
Life's got to be way more complicated than
Right?
that.
And
Yeah.
and we're okay with that. So it's like, well, what if you could have something greater? And what if this 30-day challenge is just that thing to kickstart you off into a new reality beyond where you're currently at, just to catapult you into the unknown? And, like, it can be something that is uncomfortable, but it's like, what uncomfort do you want to deal with? Do you want to deal with the uncomfort of every day feeling like something is missing, every day feeling unsatisfied, like there's something more? Or do you want to feel the uncomfort of just not knowing what the answer is, the uncomfort of not being right, which, like, that for me is a big one right now. It's like, am I willing to let go of the need to be right?
Yeah.
You know, like, could there be something greater in front of me if I was willing to let go of being right?
And the funny part is there really is no right or wrong.
No.
Like, there is no right or wrong, yet we still feel like we need to be right.
I know. Like, it's
madness.
It's total madness. So how do you get beyond being right? We just have to start asking some questions.
Yeah.
Hence the 30 times a day for 30 days. And, like, we've just been asking a different question every 30 days, and it does just bring up different awareness in different areas of your life all the time. And there's, like, endless questions. It's like reprogramming your brain. It's like
And your
sloughing-
body.
And your body.
Yeah.
And your body does, like, your body wants you to make these changes, but when you do make these changes, your body also is like, what are you doing?
It takes time to catch up because,
Yeah.
you know, you've been a certain way for so long that all of a sudden you're like, you know what, I think I'm just going to be happier now. And then your
Yeah.
body's like, what? Like, we don't do that.
Well, because we've actually let our bodies overtake us, right? Like, because we've, like, created these automatic ways of being. Like, so we don't even know why we're doing half of the stuff we're doing. Our bodies are just on autopilot.
And in fact, in the Talk to the Entities course we took, this, like shocked me, made me a little bit mad, and also was like, interesting. They were saying basically because our bodies are so programmed to be a certain way, plus, like, what other people project and expect of us, that energy goes at them. They were saying, like, if like the infinite being that is in our body, if it left and another spirit hopped in, no one would even notice that there was another entity running your body, because it is so programmed. I was like, what? Like, oh my goodness. Food for thought.
Yeah, totally. Wow, that's a whole conversation of itself. Like when you think of dementia patients, but we won't even get into that right now.
Time.
But that's the main point, is that like our bodies are actually have become in charge of our lives, because we just do what feels normal every day. And so when you do start choosing and start being the question and doing something different than you've ever done, your body all of a sudden
goes through a little bit of freak out mode.
It does. It panics. It's like, what are we doing? And that's hence where all the healing comes in, and where all like these other little magical tools really become so important. Like really getting and like becoming aware of what's going on, and really like asking yourself questions and nurturing your body
and asking your body, what do you require?
Exactly.
What do you want to wear? What do you want to eat? What do you want to do?
And then it becomes so exciting, you guys. Like it's just like, what is, anything is possible. So then you really can start to like ask yourself what you want. And we've never done that before. Like we're not taught that that's okay. We're taught that it's selfish and that it's greedy. But like we've been listening to this one Access Consciousness gal, and she was just like really saying like, just because you want more doesn't mean that you're not grateful for the stuff that you've already had come into your life. But we're taught that you should just be grateful for what you have.
That you shouldn't ask for more, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're just being selfish. You should just be grateful for what you have. And I have totally operated from that space of being. And when we heard that like a week ago, I'm like, what? I can ask for more and be grateful? Like, what if we could have fun with that?
Exactly.
Man.
Such a freedom, you know? Like, because what we or they or whoever they are, you know, like, that makes a person feel like you should just be happy. It's that whole mediocrity thing. Like, everyone has to be the same. We should all just, like,
have enough
and shut your mouth and just be okay with where you're at in your life. And that's why we feel like something's missing, you know, like, but we don't allow ourselves to go there because it's wrong, it's selfish, it's greedy. It's like, but what if you could create more for yourself and the whole entire world, you know? Like, how much greater could life be if you were willing to just be like, yeah, I am grateful for everything I want.
And I want more.
And I want more. Like, what the hell else is possible, right?
Yes.
So, if this, like, just intrigues you, this is what the 30-day challenge is all about. It is all about just, like, starting to get rid of all these points of views that make you really just be stuck in this reality, make you be mediocre like everyone else. It's like, it starts to make you challenge your beliefs and be willing to let them go and not have a point of view about it and not make any of it significant. And I will say, like...
And not judge yourself for the points of view you have either.
Right?
Yeah.
And I will say that along the way, what I have noticed is that I do all of a sudden, like, out of nowhere, will go into a panic and be like, maybe I'm being wrong about all this. Like, maybe this isn't right, and I am being selfish, and I am being greedy, and maybe I should just go back to the old way of being. And that's just, like, not being willing to receive everything that shows up, because not everybody will agree with it. Not everyone will think that that's right. And the biggest thing is it's not your business what anyone thinks about you.
Nothing is personal.
Nothing
ever.
is personal.
I have to convince myself of that pretty much daily.
Yeah. So what is it that you really want in your life? And are you willing to receive it however that shows up? Yes. That's a really thing to think about, you know, like, are you willing to receive? And that's where I'm at right now. Like, I want to receive it all, but there's like that part of me, and I realize like it's the old part of me that just wants to hang on to everyone accepting me.
If any of you have ever seen the movie Tangled, and if you haven't, please go watch it. But when she leaves the tower and she's so excited, she's like, yes, I can't believe I'm getting to do this. And then she's like, oh my God, what am I doing? Yeah. And it's like back and forth.
Totally.
That's slightly how it feels.
Right? Because it's like, to me, I think of like this shell of me, like every once in a while, as we've been doing these 30-day challenges and energy pulls, like all of a sudden I'll see, like, envision, like almost like snake skin, like a layer of skin of me just like sloughing off and falling off. And it's like, that's a part of me that isn't me anymore. And so sometimes it's like, as it's falling off, I feel like it's hanging onto my my ankles, and it's like, please don't let go of me.
No, you have to stay stuck here forever and ever.
Because people might not like you, you know, and that can feel really like you're in a tough place, because it's like, am I willing to let go of that? Am I willing for maybe not everybody to like agree with what I'm saying, agree with what I'm doing, you know? It's up to you. Ultimately, the choice is yours. Mm-hmm. But when you try to come to conclusions about it, notice that and realize when you're coming to conclusions, you are putting up walls around yourself and you're not seeing what else is possible. So it's like letting go of the rope and being willing to fall.
Let go of the rope.
And like, you know, it's like bungee jumping. It's like that trust, or skydiving.
Leaping into the unknown and not knowing where you're going to land.
Yeah.
But trusting that there is something better on the other side. Or different.
And, you know, like it's not always been easy, and the only thing that's not made it easy is me. So that's a choice. But I have never cried more tears of gratitude in my whole entire life as I have over the last year. Like, just utter gratitude of the feeling of really choosing what you want. Like, really going for what it is that you truly desire, you know, despite what anyone else thinks about you. And it is a very, you have to acknowledge the bravery behind it, because
absolutely you got to be willing to go against everything that this reality has ever believed, right?
Including yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Good topic, Auntie Nala says. Resonating. I'm so glad.
Yeah. It's like being the warrior you truly be, you know? Like, just, we've got this one life to live here, you know? So it's like, when is now a good time? Like, from this moment on, like, would you be willing to do what it takes to choose your happiness, you know?
Yeah.
And so, Karen, I invite you, starting April 20th.
And the greatest thing about this, too, is that we'll be together.
Exactly.
And, you know, when you're making changes and it's scary and you're stepping into the unknown, the best part about it is having other like-minded people to be like, am I really going to do this? Am I really going to, like, go beyond what I ever thought I would be able to do? So
that is such a good point, because, like, I know, like, Kara and I have each other all the time to talk about it, and I am, you know, I can be so, like, on top of the world, and I'm like,
again, it's like Tangled. 1 minute you're up, and then you're down, and then you're up.
And, like, I haven't worked a lot lately, and I returned to work the last couple of days, and, like, what a head game. I was just, like, went into such judgment of myself, and I was like, I honestly questioned everything that I've been doing. And I was really aware of the fact that I needed to work through this. Like, I was like, I know where I'm going and what I need to do. But there's always, like, you know, the influence of other people and their thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And so it can be really hard to not let that affect you and question yourself and judge everything you've been doing and, like, go into a wrongness of it. And am I doing this right? And that is why these tools are so important in listening to your body. Like, I woke up this morning and I had this, like, paranoia. And I was like, well, what is this paranoia? So I just started writing. I just started journaling. And I became aware that the paranoia was that old me hanging on to my ankles. Like, what if people don't like you? You know? And I was like, be willing to receive it all.
And as Auntie Nola says, know you've done the best you can do. And
Absolutely.
Yes, and all of this, none of this is about judging yourself.
Exactly.
For me, that has been why I'm doing everything I'm doing, is to quit being such an asshole to myself and to just, like, be an allowance of me, and, like, I could just whack myself upside the head.
You know,
Like,
right? That's the biggest
Yeah.
thing, like being an allowance of yourself. And we really aren't as a whole. Like, we're not an allowance for ourselves because we are too busy trying to get it right and judging the crap out of ourselves and worrying about what other people will think. Like, in Access Consciousness, all these things are called distractor implants. So they're all these things that try to keep us in this mediocre life.
Guilt, shame, blame, regret, anger.
Yeah, like all the
Yeah,
feelings.
basically,
All the
yeah.
feelings are actually what they are is called distractor implants. And they are aimed at
To keep you
in this mediocre world. Because anytime you cross that line, then it's like it triggers these distractor implants, and they're like,
You're having too much fun.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to do that. You know,
Yeah.
like you can't make too much money, or you can't do selfish things because that means you don't care about anyone else. You know, like it's like, oh, it's a head game.
Yeah.
So the key is to get out of your head, and the key of getting out of your head is the 30-day challenge.
Yes.
So if you guys are willing, April 20th, we will be starting. I think there's a sign on the back door that says, judge yourself. Right?
I think you might be right. Let's take that sign down.
And just so you guys know, it is a free challenge. Like, we just want so many people to join us and so many people to see the freedom that you can have by getting out of your head and getting out of your own way and just trusting the universe. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be like the game of life, right?
Yeah.
Like, so April 20th, we'll be putting links up so that you can join up if anyone's interested in joining.
Mary
us.
Lynn, we're finally doing it.
We're
Jeez.
finally. We have a date.
We've been too busy trying to get it right.
Oh, isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us today.
I start doing that as soon as I walk in that door,
Yeah,
right?
so true.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us. Please stay tuned.
And if you want, we're still in the full moon energy today, and it's like super windy outside. So just if you're in a stink mood, like I was certainly this morning, just go stand outside and let the wind blow it all off.
Oh,
you,
good
right?
idea.
Yeah, blow that stank off you.
Have an amazing day.
Yes.
See you around.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.